When it comes to the 3-rotor, we have way too many choices with wheels, and sadly, almost all of them don't work ideally. What I want to do is show those of you that are interested in learning what wheel fitments and type of tires work for this car, or at least a car like it, and save you the cost of guessing. This is the existing setup. This is a Mickey Thompson ET Street R, infamously the one that lost against the Ferrari with me at the wheel. This is a 275 and it is 4 years old. Both those things are important because one, they look fine. They hook still, holding about 1 to 1.1 G's of traction with the way the car is set up. You can actually see when you look really close, within 4 years, they're already toasted. But that's the facts of high performance tires. That's not just wide enough for me, but that's also not sticky enough. These still have radials, they're great for the street, but just not where I want to be. So then I went with these, which this is the stock wheel for the FD. So this wheel obviously will work with the car, no modifications. It is a 16-inch wheel, whereas my other one was a 17. And this is sadly a drag tire, a bias ply tire that no longer exists. They called it the ET Street, which is weird because it's a ET bias ply, but once you get the naming all figured out, this is a 16-inch tire that they no longer make. At least to my knowledge, you can't get it off of Summit or anything like that. So these are a bummer because they actually worked pretty well. This is a 26 by 11 and a half. So all the tires that we're doing on this car are all trying to be 26-inch tall tire from this to here. But this was a meaty tire. Sadly, they don't make new ones of these. So what did we do? Well, we went in for the drag setup, we went to my weld 15 inches. These required some shaving of the rear brake calipers, which had already been done to my car. I didn't do that. As well as some shaving of suspension components, the front toe links particularly. This is a 26-inch tall tire. It's an ET drag. It's brand new, almost brand new. And it is a 10-inch wide tire. How would you race the Ferrari Pista or any other exotic, hell, any Mustang, anything that you meet on the street? Well, that's where we're gonna try something a little bit crazier. This is the next size up for an ET Street R. The ET Street R to me is a tire series that has just been proven to hold traction while also still having a more firm sidewall. Lower profile, it's not a bias ply, but that's still pretty soft. You wanna run these tires at about 10 PSI, 12 to 10, seems to be what I've also found on the drag tires. The guys from the drag racing world have showed me that, but it also translates to this as well. So here's my problem. 315 is pretty damn wide, and I'm afraid that we might have to wide body the car. So we're actually gonna experiment with getting those wheels, the old wheels that are on the car, putting this rubber on there, and then dealing with the consequences there, because this is straight up the next largest thing I can do. It adds about 40 millimeters. So these are both 315s, those are 275s. Add them all together, you get about 40 more millimeters, which is 1.5 inches more of traction, or at least rubber touching the road. That's not the only factor, but that is more is better at this point. The other side to that is that I think I'm actually gonna do my poor man's mod again. These are ET Street Rs, they're 18 inches tall, but they're 325s, and these marks were not made like this to begin with. We are noticing that the rubber does want to separate, and we were at like 16 pounds of pressure, so these weren't even at the lowest pressure point. So we could have dropped pressure even more, and this would have certainly spun on this rim. So I think that we're gonna go ahead and take those rear rims, wheels, whatever you wanna call them, and take the 275s off, put the 315s on, mount it to the car, and see if we need to wide body it or not. Obviously the front wheels matter a lot to me as well. I don't have ABS, and so if you see my previous videos where I slam on the brakes, you'll lock up these fronts very quickly. So of course you have to modulate it too. But you also want as much rubber in the front for stopping. What I want to do is put as much rubber as I can on this rim and see if it kind of fills that in more. Let's see, these are 245 40 17s. We have something a little bit stickier, a little bit wider. This is the 275 40 17, an extra inch of width. It'll be a little bit stickier, and it's not a drag tire at all. So I'm just hoping that that helps with a little bit more of the stability in many ways. But you can see, look at those bands in there. That is certainly not a drag tire. I hope that this will help with some of the traction when I go to stop. So the guys left the parking brake on the way back. The truck was smoking. Sadly, we didn't capture that on camera, but they're learning. We got these mounted like within almost as much time as it took for you to watch this video as how much time it took for Comtire to get this stuff together. They're amazing. The thing I suspected is that yes, the tread is wider than the rim. These are the minimum width wheels to put on this rubber. So if you were looking to make this a track car, there would be some play because it's not square on the sidewalls, it's like this, and so there is a little bit of trapezoidal look shape. It's not as strong of a wheel setup, but these aren't meant to turn, these are meant to go straight. So the other side note that I think to this is I wish I did actually do my Poor Man mod and drill these, because we're gonna lower the tire pressure out of these, and I'd be a little worried about them debeating, but I've never had that happen yet. The night's still young. But we're gonna go ahead and load the front tires up, which these turned out exactly as intended. We got that extra width and they hold nicely, they look pretty meaty, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. So we'll have some extra stopping power. We will never use these rain vents here, but at least we have a nice meatier, softer tire on here. So let's get the fronts loaded up first and then see where this gets us on the rear. That's the right amount of tire poke that I wanted for this car. It's a little bit turned out this way, so that's a little exaggerated, but I want to raise the car a slight bit more because we have that nasty rake, and if we pull a wheelie, I don't want to slam the body down or also just getting it up on ramps. So we do have height. This is exactly what I was looking for. I'm very happy with how the front wheels turned out. Let's see if the rears just work.
I forgot how light these are.
What do you think, Isaiah? Is it going to work?
It can only work. There's no other option.
Joel and I were talking about bigger tires and whatnot. We're like, I can cut around the wheel, but it's not tubbing. But it's cutting the area around the wheel, which is but it's not tubbing. It's just I happen to also be cutting that area.
You ever see those bays with the tubs in the front, just like that, basic?
Yeah.
Those are just Tractor Supply sells fender things for trailers. Yes, and so people literally just chop them up to wherever they need and put them in there, and it looks good. Tractor Supply, if you guys hear this, we need.
We need a sponsorship for tubs.
Yeah.
This is the moment of truth. We're gonna go ahead and let this down. Hopefully, it doesn't let us down. Okay, that's.
You gotta sit on it.
Yeah. Okay, they are definitely gonna hit
No, this is
out here.
that.
You're clearance.
That's horrible.
Well, here, camera guy.
No, that's-
watch it from out here.
There's no way that's fitting.
Yeah. Okay, now Isaiah, let's work your magic.
If you keep it this high, you'll be fine.
Honestly, yeah. It's hella flush.
Yeah.
You know, like my stance cars. That poses a bit of a problem because we've now painted ourselves into a corner. The positive side is that we can run the car as is, but how does it look? Not so beautiful. So we do have a solution for that. We'll cover that in a moment. But I want to tell you guys the other options that we have for this car and what we have chosen, have not chosen to do. So like we were just joking about earlier, tubbing, mini tubbing. I used to thought it was tubing because I've read about it, you know, like Keyboard Warrior. I was reading all of it. So I was like, are you going to tube your car? It's not tubing. It's tubbing. I ended up tube chassising it because I thought I was tubbing it. Tubbing it just means that big piece of sheet metal that you see in a lot of drag cars. We were avoiding doing that, even though this chassis sucks ass. It's from New Jersey, it's really rusted. We avoided doing that because it's just a lot of work. I would say for sure 325, if we were able to offset the wheel inward a little bit more, which we could do with a 17, I think we could make this fit. I don't know if we would even try that, but it feels like...
Yeah, do you have space for that? Just mill it down.
Let's see, we have half an inch. We need like a full inch in there. I'm not a fan of it when you roll your fender so hard that this part pops out. I do not do that. Isaiah, how far do you think that's sticking out?
That's
Would you say an inch?
solid like inch.
Yeah, so 25 millimeters?
Yeah.
You know what's 25 millimeters?
What wide fenders are you talking about?
I haven't seen them, and I'm a little concerned because I have not seen them around the shop. I was looking for them yesterday. I have some Shine Auto wide fenders, and
Oh, those ugly ones? The ugly ones you're talking about, right? If you can find them, you can put them on.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let this car go down without a fight. You're gonna have to keep on buying them until one day I just happen to not come in and you can get it out of here. You have to send them to SOS, and they're just gonna have to keep them.
You can fit that in if you could go inward a little bit, which would mean slight or less offset on the wheel. Good luck finding a wheel exactly meant for an RX-7 nowadays, so that'd probably be a 3-piece wheel. These are 17s. Like I said, if you're gonna go drag or drag radial, getting a 26-inch tall tire that's wide enough and 15 inches is very, very difficult, at least in the Mickey Thompson lineup. They go to 27, 28, and then you really do have to hub, not tube, the rest of the car. I'm gonna go ahead and cry for a second, and then we'll be right back.
I'm over the whole joke now. I'm going home.
The camera guy told on Isaiah.
I did not.
Yeah, I did not.
He didn't have any, he just the camera guy. Don't refer to him ever again.
Yeah, because he can be replaced.
He ruined my whole joke, and Rob was just about to cry.
I was starting to sweat. I was actually.
This has been I am always so committed to my role in my jokes, and you guys always ruin it. You want to laugh.
I
Pineapple. This. You guys.
Yeah, we all suck.
This is. I'm upset, dude. He had no idea where they were.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep this stock fender.
Let's get the wide fenders.
No, we're gonna keep this stock fender.
If you guys want to grab the wide fenders, just to look.
He's about to make this into a S17. I actually hate the little holes that are right here. Who does that?
Everybody.
The holes are trash.
I don't like it, but you know me, I like molding that shit into the car. So I bought these Shine, and Isaiah is going to be very critical, and it has nothing to do with Shine. It has everything to do with my taste. I've wanted the entire feed. My bad. It's okay. I've wanted the whole feed body for a while. This is actually exactly what I was hoping for, functionality, that the car's so, like, got so much meat, so much tire, that it needed extra wide rear fenders. So these are...
That actually fits really nice. Crazy, this tire still doesn't fit. Wow.
It's pretty good.
Everybody please comment no under this video, because this guy literally you're sitting on a wide body four-rotor, RX-7, that is wide to go faster.
Yes.
What do you need more wide for? This is the one case I will not say more.
I got hurt emotionally racing that pista. I lost a part of me that
There
day.
is a price difference. That you don't go over, like, there's a cap. There has to be a set limitation.
I'm not gonna cry on camera. I'm not gonna cry on
Now,
camera.
son.
So you guys have two choices, and it's dictated by you guys, and there's one correct answer.
And there's
You
gonna
know.
be a YouTube boxing session.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a YouTube shootout.
No. Would you rather go wide body, which is the obvious answer, or leave the tires Mexiflush?
You were fine with the other tires.
No, you were fine though.
Yeah, you
Baby,
don't
you
need
didn't-
to have
you didn't
drag
need those
radials
breast
all the
implants.
time, okay? You just throw those bad boys on when you want to go fast. So I have a proposition for you on your wide body, dude. I'll let you wide body with a three-rotor if you let me two-rotor swap the RX-8.
Well, good thing it's already two-rotor. Good. Problem's done.
13B, come on. REW, there you go.
Out of all the parts on that shelf right there,
I can make 3 engines, yes.
okay, good. You can use one of them.
But I need the machining and the semi-P. I need all the support with it, you know? I'll give you my full support if you give me your full support.
You're a politician. This is not good.
Yeah.
I will raise you a step and say, I'm gonna wide body it if I want to, and then we finish the C5's build, and then you have to show me that you can rebuild the Renesis, and then when that's the case, then we do the two-rotor swap.
Okay, you put that on camera now. That's the easiest thing ever. That's
It's the right thing. It's the right
rebuild
thing.
the Renesis. Oh wow, you
It's-
got me
it's the
there,
right
pal.
thing. Nailed it.